So let's get into it. You ever had those managers that just get on your nerves? It seems like no matter what you do, it's never good enough. Anytime they got something to say, it's sarcastic, it's smart. And then they wonder why the team seems like they're in a bad mood because they got a member of the management team that is so negative and blocking everybody out. It is toxic. So in this video, I'm going to help you how to learn how to deal with those negative and toxic managers. First thing I want you to do, though, do me a favor, hit that like button, because I don't ask cash apps, I don't do super chats, I don't even monetize my channel. I get my blessings enough from the trainings and the dealerships I work with and all the people around the world that engage and interact with my products and services. So I want to just give this to you for free. But that like is like a digital currency. It helps the video go out. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, turn on the all notification bell so you get updated the next time I drop out a video. So let's get into it. So let's talk about the definition of a toxic leader, shall we? Now, a toxic leader, somebody that manipulates things, somebody that uses their power to their advantage, but to create a disadvantage for somebody else. Rather than uplifting, they tear down. And as unfortunate as it is, a lot of dealerships suffer with this cancer of negative managers. And let's just face it, a lot of times, some of those people that be on the desk, you wonder, how did you even get that seat? And let me explain to you how a lot of them get that sales manager seat. Now, you got the general manager, you got a general sales manager, but then you got those sales managers, right? GM obviously worked their tail off, learned a lot, got there, or maybe they had a family member that put them there. General sales manager, also fairly ambitious, intelligent, had to put work in to be given that spot. And then you got the sales manager, which is a top tier salesperson that's kind of getting their entrance into management. What I found, and not only when I was selling on the floor, but at a lot of stores right now, the sales manager is typically the most negative person in the whole building. They're pissed because the salespeople, if they're at a good store, are making more money than them. Then they got a general manager and the general sales manager that is over them making all the decisions. So they have no power. And a lot of times, the only way they can feel empowered is by trying to exercise that on the team members. And it is wrong. But as unfortunate as it is, it's a part of the game. So how do you deal with them? Number one thing I encourage you is that if you haven't honed in on your process, what I mean by that is if you go in there every day and you either have a guest sheet or there's a series of questions that need to be asked to this person and you haven't memorized them and know them by heart and you've been doing this for 6 months or more, shame on you. Because you should know your process up, down, left, right, in, and out. Why? Minimizes the amount of interaction you have to have with your manager. Also, when it comes to building value in the product or service, asking the guest questions, listening with the intent to understand, presenting as a solution provider. If you're not doing that, guess what? You have a lot of times you have to get up from your desk to keep going to get a manager to come and sit down with your customer. And guess what? You ever had it to where, you got 3 or 4 managers, right? And some of them have better attitudes and personalities than others. And you're trying to wait out that one that's good with customers and has a pretty good personality, but they're all busy. And the only one left is that manager that you wish you say, oh my Lord, but the people are sitting there, you got to get somebody over. You just, in your head, you just saying, please don't screw this up for me. Please don't. They sit down, say the wrong crap or whatever. Don't even try hard. Just give your money away. And you're saying, damn, I could have did that. Or they tell you to go say this. You go and say exactly that. It's not relevant to what's going on. But, hey, they know everything from sitting in there. You go say it. It don't work. And they say, you didn't do what I told you to do. And you're like, no, I did exactly what you asked me to do. It didn't work. So you want to minimize that. You have to hone your skill set. You want to know your process, your questions so well that whenever you go up to select a vehicle and get keys, or whenever you're submitting a deal, make sure you've got all the relevant information, personal related and vehicle related. Make sure that even the intangibles, hey, what do they think you're doing in here? There's a one leg. What is their significant other? Where's their significant other at? What do they do for work? All of these questions you should know, which means slow down and take your time. Don't be in such a rush to run to the desk. You get no award for being in a rush. As a matter of fact, it'll bring you more discomfort and more problems by rushing and running back to the desk before you're ready. Getting that manager involved where they shouldn't be involved. That customer has spent time and got to know you. And now, unless one of those managers is extremely skilled and has a good personality and knows how to interact with people, you bring the wrong one out. It can cost you money. It'll cost you the deal. And guess whose fault it'll be? It won't be the managers. They'll say you were weak. So if you're dealing with a negative, toxic manager and you want to avoid them, hone your skills. Go over your process daily on the way to work, after work. Because when you're in the game, you should be doing it. Listen to your process. Record it. Listen to yourself while you're driving to work, or on your way home, or while you're sitting at home. Because you'd be amazed at how we sound sometimes. Videotape yourself saying things. Sit down at your desk at work, at your cubicle, or wherever it is you do things. Set your phone up and go through and role play with somebody. See how your facial expressions look, if they're matching what you're saying or if they don't. Okay, then on top of that, making sure that when it comes to presenting your vehicles, you build as much value as you possibly can. As a matter of fact, real quick to make sure I tell you about this, but I got the chance. I'd like for you to go and, if you have been struggling with being able to close your customers and being able to establish a rapport with them and be able to build with them, I want you to check this out. I want you to go over and visit sellingforsuccess.org. Okay, the video is not over. I'm going to keep going, but I wanted to get this in there. On it are all of the courses that I put out on overcoming objections, how to drive leads on Facebook, how to drive leads from other social media outlets, how to make phone calls and leave voicemails that get returned, how to send an email that gets open, all the things, and how to dominate at your dealership. All of these things and much more, the ebooks, the audios, the complete training courses are available at sellingforsuccess.org. So go over there, check it out when you get a chance. Success.org. Sellingforsuccess.org. Check it out. I assure you, you'll be happy that you did. All right, so let me get back into it. Enough of that. Okay, so you got that negative manager breathing down your back. So you want to hone your skill set, get your questions down, making sure that you build value. Now, building value is where a lot of salespeople drop the ball. Building value is more than just a conversation. It's actually taking what you get, the information you get in the conversation, and then relating it to the specific vehicle that you are presenting for this customer. It's like if they have a child, they have an additional, they need space for a child. They have an extra baby in the backseat. Wouldn't you think that safety is important? So let's just say that safety is not something that they address, but we know they have children. And so during the conversation while you're qualifying, let me ask you, I see you got your children and you're getting this for another child. How important is safety to you? Oh, safety is really important. Okay, check. And then everything else they got. So now, and I'm only using safety because relatable to children. So now when you go out and you show them how the backseat has an additional airbag, or how the seat belts fit, or whatever it is that you want to focus on, to key in on it, you want to relate to them that what their issue was, how life without this particular feature would be, how this particular feature on this vehicle will help them solve a specific problem. You have to relate it. It's got to be what life is like without it and what the benefits are with it, specific to the issues that they had. So if it's for their child, find out that child's name. And if you're going to use, hey, so this is when little Brian is sitting in the back seat, and in the event that there's an unfortunate accident, this airbag will deploy and make it that much more likely that you and all of your children make it home in one piece. And at the end of the day, that's important to you, right? Now, see how I just did that? It's just taking the information that they gave us. Oh, excuse me. I get going. I get to sweating. I got to wipe that stuff off. See, this is real. It ain't bougie where I'm going to cut it, clip it. No, I'm going to wipe it all right in front of you. But making sure that you are able to build value, because that's where, when you sit down with a customer, if you've educated them the right way, when you present those numbers, you've asked them what type of budget they're hoping to stay around, what type of initial investment they're hoping to make, how soon they're looking to get it, what specific are they looking for on a particular vehicle, what's making them look for an addition or replacement. When you have all of this information and you can educate them on the benefit of the particular vehicle, you can express and show them the value and the benefit of dealing with you who genuinely cares. You can show them the value of the dealership and the level of service they're willing to give. Now, when it's time to ask for that order, it's easier for them to say yes, because a lot of time the negotiation, when they try to beat you down on price so much where you got to get a manager, that typically comes because what the asking price of the vehicle is, they don't feel that it's worth that from you. That's how two different sales reps can sell the same vehicle. One person's customer signs it first pencil. The next person's customer gets it for $4,000 less. And we say, oh, the person that got it for $4,000 less had a better experience. No, they didn't. The fact that they didn't even feel the vehicle was worth that and had to go back and forth beating the sales rep down probably getting something taken off that would have been of value to them later on down the line. They didn't have the best experience. The one who came out and felt like they were getting a great deal had the best experience. Both customers made the same amount of money, looked at the same exact vehicle, with two totally different perspectives on this specific vehicle. And so it's bigger than that. So make sure that if you want to avoid dealing with a negative manager, get your process down. Make sure that when you interact with them, you got all your ducks in a row and you can minimize how much interaction you have to have. Do your best to get to know your managers and find out what's really going on there, okay, to get a better idea of whose personality works which way. And the one that's negative, just avoid them as much as you can. And even when you interact with that person, you always be positive. You always be respectful. Don't go to their level, because sometimes they do it and get a kick or get charged out of getting a rise out of somebody else. One thing you'll learn, if somebody's trying to get a rise out of you and you don't give it to them, it becomes boring and they'll leave you alone. Or if you're so efficient that very rarely does anybody have to say something to you, that is also good. Or you're somebody who does things the right way so often that even if you do make a mistake and that person tried to get negative, somebody else is going to step up and say, hey, now come on now. 99 times out of 100, he does it the right way. He made a mistake, but back off. Okay, but just know, some people that are unhappy has nothing to do with you. They just miserable. You know, they're getting out-earned by the sales reps. They don't have any decision-making power. And the only people they can try to flex with is you. Okay, don't fall for the bait. Don't let them get you down. When it comes to dealing with negative managers, you do your best to minimize your communication and interaction with them. Hone your process. Know how to build value. Learn the skill of asking questions. Remember, good salespeople practice what to say, while great ones practice what to ask. Dare to be great. And to be great requires effort. It requires you going over to sellingforsuccess.org, checking out the information that will truly do for you what it's doing for thousands of other people all throughout the country. It is literally helping people double their commissions. It is literally helping people think bigger. It is literally helping people develop more confidence, which in turn is helping them transform their life. And it will do the same thing for you. So when it comes to those negative managers, realize you got two choices. You can let it affect you, or you can feel sorry for this person and smile at them and minimize how much you have to interact with them, because there's nothing you can do. They're going to be there. They're going to be everywhere. But you want to just minimize the amount of interactions you have to make by honing your skill set, knowing your process, learning how to build value, being effective, efficient, and productive. If you can do those things, you're going to kick ass and kill it. All right, I just wanted to jump in real quick, help you, kind of navigate through dealing with those negative managers. As you can see, repping my hubby shirt, love me some her. Other than that, y'all, hey, I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't clicked that link in the description, click that link in the comments. Go over to Selling for Success, success.org. Check out the information. I'm sure you'll be happy you did. Other than that, I'm Brian Maxwell. I look forward to seeing you at the dealership. Over and out.